Hi,
Hi,
I'm Laura.
and I'm Keisha, and we're the Pattern Queens. And today is Tuesday. I forgot the day already, May the 10th. And this is Special Stitch with Us, number 23. And this is a channel about cross stitch.
And rambles and silliness and shenanigans and trying to think of all the things that it's about on a
Yes.
Tuesday night when we've been at work all day.
Right. It is currently after 8:30. So again, the Stitch with Us is Pattern Queens After Dark.
and also it's about trying to continue a tradition that we've had for the past 2 Mother's Days.
Yes. So we've got to make it number 3. So we are working on the same piece. Do you want to show them, Laura?
Sure. I found this online. So it's Let Joy Be Unconfined by the Blue Flower. It's one of the Be Well and Stitch freebie patterns that came out. We both just kind of fell in love with it.
Right. And we've stitched on it for 3 consecutive Mother's Days.
Yes.
So
we both did stitch on it on Mother's Day this year, but we
yes.
thought we would come in and document it too.
Right. So I'll show you where I am on mine. I'm stitching it with the called for dinky dies. And this is on a piece of 32 count Lugana in the color Fern from Color and Cotton. And I'm in my living room again, so I have the world's worst lighting, but it's green. It's a really pretty green, guys.
And it's nighttime, so yes, we have bad lighting anyway. Mine is on 32 count tutu from Color and Cotton, and I already had a bunch of dinky dies, so I just pulled some out and substituted. And of course, all of my lettering had to be done in purple.
Yes, of course.
I didn't have good teal, so.
Right. I have to tell you a funny story about mine before I start. So as you can see, it says, Let Joe Be. One of my very best friends, his middle name is Joe. And so I sent her a picture of this on Mother's Day after I had worked on it, because I put in the O on Mother's Day. And I was like, I thought that maybe you could relate to this. And she's like, I could not love this more. If we hadn't worked for this on 3 consecutive Mother's Days together, I would maybe just keep it as it is and give it to her. But I really do like this piece. So
it's just such a pretty one.
It is.
I pulled out a couple of extra links so that when I run out of this color, I'll be able to just move on without pawing through all of the bags.
Right. What would a Pattern Queens video be without a cat sighting?
Yes. I had lots of comments on my video, my monthly WIP video, about my pretty co-host.
And you
also
don't get those usually. No one comments on how pretty I am.
I should tell you all that I'm very sorry for the version that went up. I had edited that thing. I had deleted all of the craziness. And when it went up, one of my friends let me know that they had stayed in. So my video reverted when I uploaded. And there were already comments, and I just didn't want to delete them. And thankfully, I don't sit and swear like a sailor at the screen.
Yes.
At least not when Keisha's not here.
That makes me sound like a bad influence.
I've had a productive May already. How about you?
It's been going pretty well. We're both in model stitching season, and I've made some pretty good progress on the model I'm currently working on.
You have.
It's been where I've been working has been big blocks of color, so that of course helps. But I know you've had an even more productive month than me so far.
I was on a different model, and I have finished that model, and I finished a big project that was my school project. So when we do our next video, our next regular floss tube, I will have one piece that I will show you, and we'll just think about the other one.
Well, we'll show this one too on our next video where we'll have
Yes.
to talk about that.
I've worked on a couple of different things because I took a little break.
Yes. So how was your Mother's Day, Laura?
Oh, it was fun. I got all sorts of lovely things from my wonderful family, but also one of the biggest gifts that they gave me is that they let me have the time to sit in my chair, and along with people who are in the Black Needle Society Facebook group, we had a stitch together for we started in the morning and went through the early afternoon. So it was fun. I got to sit and chat and stitch. It's really enjoyable. How about you?
I had a really nice time. I actually went on a trip with my family this past weekend to Branson, Missouri. And we hadn't really planned for it to be for Mother's Day weekend. That was just kind of happily how it fell. And we took James to the aquarium, and that was big fun. He loved looking at the fish, though he had a hard time sometimes because he would want to stay and look at the same fish for a long time. And in this aquarium, it was more just like they kind of funneled you through it.
Oh, okay.
And so there were people behind us wanting to look at the same fish, and luckily James never picked like the exciting fish to look at. It was always like, here are these teeny tiny fish in a tank that's close enough for James to be able to see them. And he would just want to sit there and look at them. We did have one kind of cool experience there. There was a room that was really a tunnel with glass on all sides and up over the top. And there was a sea turtle that was just hanging out on the ground and just eating some food in there. And so James got to get really close and look at it. And we got some pretty good pictures of that. One really cool thing was we stayed literally 2 minutes away from Cecilia's in Branson, which is a great cross stitch shop that you and Katie introduced me to. And so I asked my husband, I was like, could I on this trip just have like a half hour where I could go in there by myself? You take James somewhere and I will just like kit up a project and just kind of spend some time by myself. And he's like, oh yeah, sure, we can do that. So I did that, and I'll show you in our next video what I bought. It's pretty cool though. Something that's definitely not me, but I'm excited about it. and then the last couple minutes of my visit, since they had just dropped me off, my husband and son come into the shop, and I'm getting fabric cut. So I'm like, well, hold on, I'm still a little busy. And so I told my husband, I was like, there are baskets by the door, and they have like these tiny baskets that are meant for if you're coming in to buy some floss or something. And so I was like, James will love those little baskets because they're his size. And there weren't that many people. There was a lady with her daughters there, but those were the only other people in the shop. So I was like, it'll probably be okay if he just like takes that basket and is supervised and walks someplace else in the shop, but not to look too hard at the floss because he loves floss. And so he took the basket and went way to the back of the shop where they have like the punch needle stuff that I never go back to that part of the shop. So he's been to parts of that shop that I've never been to. So that was kind of fun. But we had a really good trip, ate some good food, had some relaxing time. We wore my boy out and he slept until 8:45 on Mother's Day.
Whoa.
Usually his latest is 7:45. So I was very happy for the opportunity to sleep in. So that's kind of how my Mother's Day went. Then we spent a lot of time in the car because that was the day that we came back home.
That sounds fun.
That was good.
I've been realizing that counting this week as well, I only have 3 weeks of school left.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Katie told me I was not allowed to talk about that because that means it's nearly retreat season and she's not quite ready.
Ah, I see. Well, you've got 3 different retreats this summer. I don't know that I'd be
Plus,
ready either.
plus we're going to StitchCon.
Oh, right. So you got
So
4, but 3 you're hosting.
it'll be fun.
Yes.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll meet a lot of great people. And it'll be nice for the first time in a few years for you to go to a retreat.
Right. I keep having to stop and count for a second.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. Oh, we got a question on our last Stitch With Us video about whether or not we ever entered our projects into like the county or the state fair. Have you ever done anything like that?
I have not. I thought about it quite a bit, but I've never even been to our state fair. And county wise, I haven't really done any investigation about it.
Right. Yeah, I'm not really sure too much about the county fair. I've never entered my stitching in a competition either. I have been to the state fair many, 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 many times because I graduated from high school in the town where our state fair is. So I've been. I've been enough times that I'm bitter about the traffic in the town and therefore have not been in several years.
That means you've tried all of the deep fried treats at a fair, right?
Yes, I know where to go to get into some air conditioning for a few minutes. I went to prom in the agriculture building on the fairgrounds. I graduated in the big arena on the fairgrounds. So I have a lot of experience out there.
Wow.
I've been to 2 state fairs. I've been to the Missouri State Fair and the Texas State Fair. And my husband keeps telling me that he's going to take me to the Iowa State Fair because that's where my in-laws live. But we haven't been yet. I'll have to take James sometime.
I love that people will enter their work in the fair.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just good for people to be able to see like what we do and what's out there and all of those things. So
Right.
I love
I
that.
love looking at the exhibits.
Oh, yes. I forgot to put a needle minder on my project. Thankfully, the light next to me has a magnetic pole. So I just keep a couple on there.
Oh, so I need to find where the rest of mine are, but I have like the little magnetic ties that clip together that will hold all your
Yeah.
excess fabric. I had one on a big project of mine, and James decided that he would like to look at it, which is fine. He loves magnets and like sticking them on things. He did this in the hotel room. I could not find it.
Oh no.
So now I need to find the ones. I know that I have a few in my house. I'm just not sure where they are.
Wouldn't you like to see
Probably.
that cleaning person who found that magnet and is looking at it and thinking,
What is this orange piece of rubber with 2 magnets on it?
what were these people doing?
Yes. And I looked everywhere because he was sticking it on the mini fridge and then he stuck it on the safe in our hotel room. Oh man, he loved that safe because you would push a number and it would go beep. And if you hit the wrong thing, it would beep a whole lot. And oh man, he thought that was great.
Okay, I did not quite have enough of that color, so I had to get in and get another piece. The lovely thing about these is that we're doing them in silks.
Yeah, well, and this, I've since worked on things that have had silks, but this was the first project I ever worked on that had silks.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's another kind of special thing about the project for me.
I just thought it was such a pretty piece. And
Mm-hmm.
well, and like, the fact that I had several dinky dyes in my stash and was able to work it and just substitute some things in, I love that.
Right.
I mean, we were supposed to be staying home in
Mm-hmm.
2020. So it was nice for me that it worked out that way. I think you ordered yours, right?
Yes, I ordered mine from 123 Stitch, but this and this piece of fabric was whenever I was in Color and Cotton's Fabric of the Month Club, I got it.
Yes. That's what mine is from also.
Mhm. And that happened a couple of times where I would get the perfect piece of fabric for something I wanted to start that month.
I miss doing that club.
Yes, it's a really good one. But you kind of get to the point where you just have quite a bit of fabric, and at the time whenever I stopped doing the club, my stitching time was going to become limited, so
Hmm. I don't have a problem with fabric.
no, it's really hard to resist the urge to just buy something because it's pretty. I ran into that this weekend. There were a couple pieces where I was like, oh, this is beautiful. I don't have anything in mind for it, and I'm already buying some fabric for two pieces. I should just leave it.
Did you look in the little basket and see if they had any good cuts?
I did. They had some nice pieces, but I already have a couple bags of pieces
Hmm.
from there that I haven't used up, and I'm like, even if it's cheap and there are good things, I should probably use what I have. I'd rather leave it for somebody who's actually going to use it in the next 5 years. So,
I have plans to go through and organize my fabric, but I have plans to go through and organize a lot of things.
right. Same here.
Okay, one color down.
Laura's quite a bit closer to finishing hers than I am. I need to get to work. I only worked on it for about a half hour or 45 minutes on Mother's Day.
I got to sit and work on it during the chat. So that was
Mhm.
quite a bit of dedicated time.
Right.
And I already had the words in and part of the stems.
Mhm.
So I had a decent jumping off place.
Right.
Okay, if you hear me rustling, I'll just say I'm sorry now.
Yeah, I when I got home, because I didn't take this piece with me on the trip, I went and I got it so I could work on it after James went to bed. And at that point, I was like, I need to put in some stitches on it. I'm not going to put in a whole bunch, and then I'm going to work on a, the model, because at that point I was just going back and forth with the same color over and over. So I didn't really have to think too much about it.
I'm sure you were exhausted by the time you got home.
Oh yeah, no, I could have taken all yesterday off to relax, but I had some work stuff I had to do. So.
We ended up on Mother's Day also. Well, Katie woke me up because I had been up really late the night before.
Mhm.
And she said, Mama, I have coffee for you.
Ooh, that's a good way to wake
Yes. It's like the siren call.
right.
So she had found out that Uber Eats delivers Starbucks coffee.
Oh no, that's a terrible thing to know.
So we got that. And then we wanted to get some breakfast quickly before the Stitch with Us started. And our go-to usually for breakfast is First Watch. They weren't
Right.
taking any orders.
Mm, yeah,
So
that's not surprising.
yeah, I'm sure it's because it was Mother's Day and it was just too busy. So we tried a place in Liberty that we have not previously eaten at, but um, they were offering service, and really, I had such a good omelet. I was so happy. I got almost the same omelet that I would have gotten from the other restaurant. So
Mhm. Well, that's good.
we will definitely be eating there again.
That's good to know. I so Sunday was our checkout day at the hotel. And James slept in, so we were just going to ride that wave. Which meant we only really had an hour to get ourselves ready. And um so they had a couple of different things at the hotel where we were staying. One was just like a little slide and things to play on, just some playground equipment. And so my husband said, well, why don't you take James over there, go on the slide, I'll load up the car. Which I was like, that's a great idea. Get the toddler out of the way of all of the heavy things being carried to the car. So we went, and then where we were staying, they had like a little marketplace that had a Starbucks in it. So here comes
Oh,
my husband with the drinks. It's like, oh, bless you. Then we had an interesting time because a lot of places in Branson are not open on Sundays. So the first place that we tried to go eat lunch, we got to, and it said it was cash only that day. Well, we had enough cash for one of us to have a hamburger. So
oh,
we decided not to go there. And then we tried to pick a couple of other places, but they were closed on Sunday. So then we ended up at a barbecue restaurant called Getting Basted, which was funny to me because
yes,
we tried to go to Branson the first time together. We didn't go in there because they weren't spaced far enough apart. And this was December of 2020, right after I'd had a baby and we were not going to transit.
right.
So I did finally get to eat there. I was going to tell you that.
And they do have good food.
Yeah, it was really, really good. I had someone I work with had recommended it to me as well. So I really enjoyed that. He has what I think is a great retirement plan. I guess if you want to judge barbecue contests, you can get sanctioned by the Kansas City
Right?
Barbecue Society by just like taking some classes. And so he is a sanctioned judge, and his wife just got certified as well. And so whenever they retire, they're just going to go around judging barbecue contests, which
That
I think,
sounds like a plan.
yeah, that's a lovely idea. Well, I found out what I'm going to do in retirement.
Now, see, that would probably not work for me because oftentimes barbecue sauce is not gluten free.
Ah, I
And
didn't know
again, it's
that.
something that shouldn't necessarily have any gluten in it, but they add it to it.
Right.
And I don't know, in those kinds of contests, you would think that there wouldn't be any problem with it, but you just never know.
Right. Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
I also don't do well with heat.
Ah, yeah, so that might be a hard thing.
So yes, eating spicy food would not be. I like sweet barbecue with a little kick.
No, I love hot. The hotter the better. So I am starting to lose a little bit of my spicy tolerance that I built up when I was pregnant. Since I was, eating anything spicy, like put jalapenos on anything and I will eat it when I was pregnant. So starting to lose that a little bit.
You might have to cut back, huh?
I'm not sure what it is about that spicy little boy, but here we are. It's always so funny to me when you talk to people about like pregnancy cravings. Because you hear all of the like pickles and all that kind of thing. And like what people couldn't stomach.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard spicy foods. I haven't heard Earl Grey tea, which is another one of mine. And then I couldn't, for the first trimester, I couldn't think about avocados without feeling sick.
Oh no.
And I also had to use cinnamon flavored toothpaste because I couldn't handle my mint flavored toothpaste.
I couldn't stand the sight, the thought, the taste of butter.
Oh, really? Oh no, that's a bad one.
So, and that just seems so odd with Katie anyway.
Yeah.
And so I, I ate, if I ate toast, then I ate it without butter, but with jelly or something else. That's also when I started eating the low sugar, the low fat peanut butter, because the regular peanut butter was too oily. And I think that's what my problem was with butter, is that it just, for me, it was just like, no, thank you. No. So, but
Strange how your body does that.
yes, with Brie, I craved fruit and fresh vegetables.
Ooh, that's a good thing to crave.
And I don't eat cooked vegetables. So it was a lot of raw vegetables. I don't eat a lot of cooked vegetables. That's what I should say.
See, I think I think the pandemic may have saved my husband's sanity a little bit because before everything closed down, I wanted Indian food like once a week. The hotter the better, just keep giving me Indian food. And the closest place to us was like a little bit of a drive to get to. And because it was up in Zona Rosa, so 15-20 minutes to get there. And yeah, that was like our last meal out was going to the Indian restaurant. And then I had gestational diabetes, so I had to really watch all of my carbs and everything. Do you know what you can eat a whole lot of and it doesn't really matter? Hot wings.
Oh, that is
ate,
true. And you were eating hot wings all the time.
I ate so many hot wings. It was ridiculous. And I don't think my husband has recovered from that yet either, because that you could get on DoorDash.
Yes. So somebody would just bring you that stuff. That's always
Right.
wonderful.
Just bring it to me.
Bring me the hot wings and no one gets hurt.
Right.
Okay. Are you a dip it in the blue cheese dressing or not?
I am a blue cheese dressing person. Some places have better blue cheese dressing than others. Some it's like, this might as well be ranch dressing. But some, as far as like chains go, I think the best blue cheese dressing I found is Wingstop. They have really good blue cheese. But yeah, no, I'm order me an extra container of blue cheese because I'm also dipping my fries in this person.
Now,
So
I am not a blue cheese fan.
mhm.
Jeff would eat blue cheese crumbles on a salad and blue cheese dressing on top of that.
Oh, yeah.
He just loves that.
Yeah, I like some blue cheese crumbles. My husband doesn't like blue cheese though at all.
Um, so I love a Cobb salad, but the first
Mhm.
time that I ordered it, I just about lost it because it it caught me off guard because it said gorgonzola cheese.
Oh yeah,
And my brain did not tie that to being a blue
blue.
cheese.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, it was awful. And it was my mistake, so I wouldn't send it back. So I just was trying to pick out the blue cheese, get rid of it.
I love a Cobb salad because it has blue cheese and eggs in it.
Yes, has all the good stuff on it that you want.
Mhm.
I have been on a Thousand Island dressing kick lately.
Oh really?
Hmm. Because yet another thing with the gluten-free thing, a lot of places, if they make house-made dressings,
Mhm.
oftentimes ranch dressing has gluten in it.
To thicken it up.
Yeah,
Yes.
like find another thickener.
Right.
So many things out there.
Right. Well, and that's not something that you would automatically think of if you are like newly diagnosed as someone who needs to be gluten free.
Yes. Um, and I know which restaurants say that they're not safe. Now, I am not celiac. Let me just say that for all of you out there. I'm not celiac, so it's a gluten sensitivity. So if I have it, I'm just going to have a really uncomfortable day or two, but I'm going to be okay. So sometimes I will think, I wonder if I can brave that here. And like there's one restaurant that has very plainly said, only this salad dressing do we guarantee is gluten free. Well, I can't have their ranch, it will get me. But I found that their Thousand Island is fine.
Hmm.
So I don't know. Maybe they don't use as much. Maybe they don't use any at all. I don't know.
Right. Maybe it's just one of those, this could come into contact with something. We're not
Yes,
going to
that
guarantee it.
could be too. Yes. Um, and salads. Oh my gosh, that has been my thing lately. And Jeff, since he got home from the hospital, has been eating more salads. So we kind of like the idea of just having things ready to go so that we can just dump some in a bowl and have salad.
Nice.
So we try and keep, tomatoes, and he has been really enjoying cucumbers and hummus as a snack. So that
Mhm.
means we get to have cucumbers in our salads too. And we
Nice.
will hard boil a few eggs and keep them in the fridge.
Mhm.
And so we'll have that on our salads too. Oh yeah, it's fabulous.
Do you keep like any like fresh herbs or anything like that to throw in there every once in a while?
We haven't, but what do you use?
Well, I guess mine's not so much an herb, but like I like to put cilantro to give just like a little bit of fresh, like a little bit of difference,
Hmm.
especially if you're putting like some corn or something into your salad. That's good.
Cilantro is one of those things for Jeff that has to be cooked or it
Oh,
causes
really?
him issues.
Oh, no. Well, then maybe not
So,
cilantro for you guys then.
but like I like spinach in my salad. I'd
Mhm.
prefer to have romaine instead of um just iceberg lettuce. And we will have other lettuces in a salad when we can get them, as long as they're not huge. I hate
Okay.
going to a restaurant where they serve you like a fun salad and then you get the leaf that's this big plus a stem.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so fun question of the day for you all. What is your favorite unique salad ingredient? Give Laura some ideas for her summertime salads.
There you go. I love strawberries and candied pecans in a salad. That's one of my favorite things.
See,
And then Beth will make a strawberry vinaigrette to go over it.
Nice.
So good.
I'm kind of a, if I'm going to have something sweet in a salad, that's when I want blue cheese, because I need something to kind of balance it out a little bit.
We will sometimes have a balsamic. Maybe that's what he does, a strawberry balsamic.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I like feta cheese on a salad too. A little bit of like saltiness.
I really like goat cheese.
Yes, goat cheese is very good. I like goat cheese with walnuts.
Ooh. I definitely will eat more things on my salad now than I did when I was younger.
Yeah.
Just way more adventurous.
I will try just about anything, but what I found about myself is that if there's going to be something sweet in what's normally a savory dish, I definitely need like something salty or funky to balance it out. Oh, so I bought a little Morgan hoop lap stand.
Okay.
And I'm still trying to kind of figure it out. Well, like I would like to try two-handed stitching, so it was kind of my treat to myself, and I haven't quite figured it out yet.
So that one, yes, you can use it the way you are, but it's also kind of designed for punch needle.
Oh, really?
Which, if you think about it, that would hold it really nice and tight while you were doing your punch needle.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and I figured this is one of those things, if I don't like it, it's just two hoops put together with some rods. So I'll have two nice hoops.
Yes.
If I end up not liking this.
I keep trying different things because I think, and where I think I am right now is that I would like a scroll frame lap on a lap stand because I sit in a recliner. Right now I have my feet down because I have my computer here, but which I think last time we did this, I think I actually used my lap desk and put my laptop on it. I didn't think about that.
You all are on James's special table. This little chair with a kind of a desk attached. He loves this thing. But he's asleep, so that's where the computer's going, because it's right next to my couch. So
you guys have been getting outside quite a bit. What's been your favorite springtime activity?
Well, we really like going to the park because James only just started like being able to do fun park things in like November of last year. So we had to kind of keep him inside whenever he discovered how to climb upstairs and go down slides and all that kind of stuff. So going to the park has been really fun. We occasionally go on picnics. That's always fun too.
I'm looking forward to being able to get outside. If you guys don't know, Katie hurt herself when we were getting ready for the Gladstone cleanup weekend, and we just haven't been out a whole lot since then. But we have great plans to get out and do a lot of walking and get a little healthier.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. I just enjoy the idea that we have sunshine, and I love the rain too, actually, in the spring. Although, okay, so here in Missouri, last week it was in like the 50s and 60s. I don't even know if we hit 60s.
Yeah.
And for the last 2 days, it's been 90.
Yeah. We tend to just skip over spring sometimes.
And it's my favorite season.
Yeah, mine too.
I like to see everything green up and all the flowers bloom. And I really do love the rain,
Right.
as long as it doesn't get crazy.
Well, we're just going to have to bring James and his little bicycle over to a park by your guys' house and just have you meet us one day and play with us.
That would be fun. I told Keisha that what we needed to do was that she and James needed to meet up with Katie and I, and we would go to the cat cafe. Oh, you know what? I did not plug in my computer. So I'm going to reach up here. Cord's right here. There we go. All better.
Crisis averted.
That would not be good.
No, definitely not. Be quite an abrupt ending to the video.
I love stitching on this piece. It's just such a pretty one.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, it's going to be exciting to have done.
I don't think that I will finish this tonight, and I will not pull this back out. I probably won't pull this back out to work on, although it is under, I have fewer than 500 stitches to go.
Wow.
Oh, Tiger's readjusting. Tiger, there he is, pretty boy. Look at you. I love when they sit up and just show you how gorgeous they are.
Yesterday I got home from work and there were two cats just sunbathing right in front of my door. And I get pretty close and they just look up at me and I'm like, I'm sorry to disturb you, but I really need to get into that door. They just looked at me and then ran off and looked back like, how dare you? We had found a nice sunny spot.
Oh, yes. Since we rearranged the living room, my workspace is right over here by me, and it's in front of the big picture window. And so there's a desk there with my sewing machine on it. And what they love, there are a couple of things about it. So they love to be able to sit up there in the window and sun themselves, which they're not very happy with this right now because the curtains are closed.
Yes.
But also because my sewing machine is there, it provides some privacy for them. And they did figure out the other day that I opened one of the windows on the side. And so at least two of them, if not three of them, had to get up here and crawl in that window too. They are silly, silly.
We have, we'll open up our curtains and our blinds during the day. And James, like right across from where I am, there's a window and a little love seat. He'll stand up on the love seat and lean against the back and look out the window. Most of the time we can see a cat from there because the neighbors feed the neighborhood cats. And so he'll just look out and he'll go, cat, cat. So.
Have you gotten to work on your dinosaur piece?
No, not yet. I need to. Oh man, I'm probably not going to finish that in May. I've been working so much on the model, but I probably need to carve out some time each week to work on it. Um, because of course, the month that I need to work on a model, it's the biggest piece so far, or the biggest part so far.
Of
So,
course it would be.
of course, but that's okay. It's 3 dinosaurs instead of 2. They've released 2 every month up until this one. It's 3, but it's a pretty cool one. The dinosaurs are pretty cool looking, so I'm excited to stitch them. I just gotta pull it out to work on it. I've really been enjoying that piece more than I thought I would, because it's not really a me sort of thing, but I'm happy to be stitching it. And I keep, every time I pull it out, I'm like, James, look, dinosaurs roar, and he'll go roar. So I'm hopefully I'm priming him to like it because it's for him, and we'll put it up in his room.
That would be good, right?
Or I'll just hang it up in the living room and it will be fine. People will ask why I have a dinosaur alphabet, and I'll be, because my son did not want it. He'll be 2.5 by the time it's finished, so I have a little bit of time to make sure that he really likes dinosaurs.
I'm sure that he will like it for a good long time.
He's helped put a couple stitches in on it too, so.
Oh, Bree used to love to sit in my chair with me and help me stitch. It was all the giggles when she would take hold of the needle and pull it until it pulled all the way off the floss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what James likes to do too. And it made me really nervous until I trained him to put it on the needle minder. So he'll pull it off and then he'll yell stick, and he'll put it on the needle minder. I'm like, okay, I don't really want my toddler holding a needle. But as long as you put it directly on the magnet, I guess we'll be okay.
That's when I got my 1.5 chair recliner, and Bree would sit up on my lap or sit right up next to me in the chair. And so I could grab it pretty quick. That was part of the whole thing, is that I would grab it and say, oh, look what you did, and tickle her and make her giggle. So
James has learned what scissors are, because I don't know if they're starting to use, if the bigger kids in his class are using safety scissors or what's going on, but he'll look at my scissors and go scissors, and he'll try to grab them, and then he'll hold on to them tightly. And so I'm like, I can't wrestle scissors away from you. Could you please just give them back to me? And usually the let's stick them on the needle minder game works for them too. And then
thank
I hide
goodness,
them.
huh?
Yes. Thank goodness he likes magnets.
That's one of those skills too that kids a lot of times don't get a lot of practice on, is just cutting.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun when they get to practice cutting out shapes.
Yes. And he's in a class with kids who are up to like a year older than him. So I think he gets to experience some things that are a little more advanced, which I think is good, because he's learning whole new skill sets that I wouldn't expect someone his age to know.
And they really do surprise us with what they can do.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure.
Ooh, I am under 400 stitches.
Ooh, that's exciting. You'll have to let me know when you get to a good stopping point.
Well, actually, I just did, because I just finished a leaf.
Okay, perfect.
So I would be moving anyway. You want me to go ahead and show where I
Yeah, go
am while
ahead.
you finish?
Yes.
Okay. Let me get my needle on the magnet. So tonight, oh, let me put something behind it. Tonight, I filled in these 2 flowers
Oh,
and this leaf.
nice.
There are way more stitches in these things than it looks like.
Right. Yeah.
I'm just
Then,
amazed.
yeah. And then I'm almost done with the Y on Joy.
Ooh,
I've got just a few more stitches left to go on it to make it hook around, but
you're nearly there.
almost. So I've really been enjoying this, and I'm kind of bummed to put it away. Probably as soon as we get done talking, I'll finish the Y anyway, and then I'll put it away.
I just love this. I just think it is such a pretty piece.
Yes. And I like that for the most part, we've been working on it together when we work
Mhm,
on it, either
mhm.
on the same day or like actually working on it together.
Yes.
It's been kind of fun.
So mine will probably go away until we work on it again.
Yeah. We'll just make the fourth consecutive Mother's Day we worked on it. You'll finish it.
I'll have to work on it quite a bit that day. Well, I have 306 plus 78, 384 stitches, 8 and 6. Yeah.
And those flowers are a little fiddly, so maybe it'll be a couple more Mother's Days before you finish it.
I don't know because what I have is just the two blue
All
flowers
those
that you have
flowers.
done,
Yeah.
and then there are 2 leaves right here.
Oh,
And
okay.
this
Yeah.
is it. All of my
That'll
stitches are in here.
Oh, okay. Those are easy ones to do. So you guys can see it's like a little border around and then filled in. You'll
Yes,
get
and
that
that's
done, no
been
problem.
fun with those.
Hmm.
But yes, I am done with everything on the right side. I'm looking at my pattern keeper. I'm done with everything on the right side. And I just have 2 leaves and 2 flowers to go.
Nice.
Yeah, nothing else is lit up when I do it. That's the thing I love about pattern keeper is that it lights it up so you know what you have left to stitch.
Hmm.
It's amazing though. Okay, so in those 2 flowers, the outline color has
Hmm.
204 stitches
Yeah, I believe it.
and the fill color has 102 stitches. And I've done the centers of the leaves because it was the
Hmm.
purple.
Right.
But to do the rest of the leaf, there are 78 stitches.
Wow.
I would not think, I mean, Keisha, you should hold yours up again because I cannot believe that I'm going to put in close to 400 stitches just getting in those 2 flowers and the 2 leaves.
Right.
That's crazy.
Cross stitch is always more stitches than you think it is. Always
It
more stitches than you think it is.
really is. So I will probably just anchor my needle so that I know where to start the next time.
Mhm.
Anchor my floss. But anyway, have I rambled enough for you?
And we've had quite a few shenanigans. So I guess all there is left is to say bye.
Bye.
Have a good week.